These are some axes I haven't brought out in a very long time. This is a 4-pound Rixford. I really like this one. And this one is a 3-pound Craftsman fire axe, a single oval. This is one of my favorite Dayton patterns. It's blocky. It's very, very square. Really cool axe. I have it on the straight handle. It's a 4-pounder, and it's from 1946, R46. So let's try to split some red oak with these two. Let me show you the other ones. This is a Chinese axe. Probably weighs a little over 4 pounds. It's a felling axe, not really that thick. Interesting stamp, and it's perma bonded, but it wasn't that permanent. Much worse perma bonding than what plum would do, where it would really stay in there and it's hard to get out. This one is actually loose. I just pushed it up. And then I used to actually split with this axe. Let me show you the profile. This is a Worn Man, Michigan, and I used to split with this axe like it was a splitting axe. It's got a little bit of thickness in the cheeks, but I think it's just under 4 pounds, or it's at 4 pounds. It's a little light, but I've actually used this for a really tough white oak round that was like 30-inch diameter. I spent 2 hours splitting it one time because I didn't have anything else, and I told someone I would show them how to split. They probably stopped wanting to learn how to split after that. So let's go with this one first. Actually, let's use this one first because I never used it before. The handle is really weird. I think it's a type of... I thought it was a type of oak, but now I don't even know. Oh boy. That's bad. Oh man, it really is. I'll break the handle. Let's break it. Wow, it didn't break. This is why you want a fat axe. I mean, this is a good demonstration. I see people saying, you know, you could split with a real thin axe. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine if you really know what you're doing and it never gets stuck. If it gets stuck badly, like it's getting stuck now, really wastes a lot of energy. I'm gonna get it, but not too fun. This handle's trash, so. Oh wow, that's interesting. Look at this. Broken permabond. Not sure if I can call that permabond. I don't want that in the environment. I'm going to throw that out. Now let's use this 4-pound man. So the reason why I know this is a man is because it has the half moons surrounding a diamond. Whoa, that was way easier, so I just went right through. I mean, maybe I should show you. Maybe we should see how easy it splits the little stuff. Still not that, still annoying. So just that little bit of difference. You know, this bit isn't as long, it's a little fatter. Just a little bit of difference makes all your efforts easier. Let's try the smallest axe. This is really not for this. I don't want to mess up this handle. This is a new old stock handle, a 26-inch handle. Really beautiful with a scroll end. Scroll end means it's rounded. Oh boy. There is a knot in here. A couple knots. So I sharpened this one for splitting, but it's a felling, or it's a cutting axe, but it's got a really thick edge because I used to split with it. I'll have to tune this up. I might change the handle. I like this handle, but I don't prefer a palm swell like this, and I don't know if I have much to work with. But yeah, well, let's see how it does splitting. I haven't split a big round with it in a long time. Yeah, that's where that knot is. Let me bring out a good splitter to show you guys the difference. This is that axe I used in the last video. It's my main splitting axe. Not with an E at the end. I mean, it's the one I use the most. And it's from the 1800s. Cool thing about using axes with a lot of patina on them, when you use them a lot, the patina just wears away. And it actually smooths the axe out. You can see it's gone a little bit from this area. And it does the same thing to rust. When you actually use the axe, wherever wood is contacting the metal, it's scraping over and over again. So if you have rust on your edge, it's not too bad. It's not like at the very tip of the edge, also called the apex. You know, use it, and you might not have to do anything other than just get rid of that rust with a little bit of use. It's just so much easier. Oops. I'm barely pulling out. You can see how much easier it is to unstick an axe like this. I could do that with a fingertip. It's out. Whoops. Oopsies. Two more. There we go. That's my workhorse. This actually didn't do too bad at all. I know why I used to use it now. This thing is putrid, but if it holds an edge, you know, it's not bad. This is an interesting one. I think this is more of a softwood axe, so when I cut with this, hopefully I can find something a little easier to swing into. And then this one is just a gem. Really cool axe. Not really a user. I think it's really cool though. And it actually has a special wooden wedge. It's an Iki wedge, which I don't think you could buy anymore. It's super durable when it comes to rot resistance. Probably bug resistance too. I think it's an oily wood. So there you go. Let me see if I can't hurt myself here. There we go. Here's an axe that I really wanna put to use. Look at that profile, just a fatty. A nice fatty. This will do a lot of work. This will be able to split and it will be able to cut, and it won't get stuck too easily. I mean, it's an exciting profile, overhead profile, but it has really thin eye walls up top that need to be either filed back or bent back. And more importantly, it has a dent. And you can even see it. You see that? Right where my finger is? See that dent in there? I'm not really sure what to do about that. That's a bit of an issue. Here's another axe I really want to put to use. Look how fat that is. Now, it doesn't have a high center line, really. Whoops. And as you can see, the eye is not centered. The eye is like to here. And it also needs filing as well, but this is just how thin these eyes are when they're made by the Dutch or Germans, I forget which one. It's not tapered correctly, and that's just how they did it. So this is one where I'll have to hang it proud. I'll have some handle tongue above it to keep it on. But I'm excited about this one. I'll show you what I'm thinking with the handle. So I'm thinking of copying this beautiful handle right here that I put on the J.K. Eldridge. The only problem is this is not the best handle to actually use. I mean, we've advanced. Now we have good palm swells, and you know, you don't need a curved handle, but I probably prefer a curved handle just a little bit. I'm just not sure what to do, because it'll look, that old axe, probably from the 1800s or early 1900s, would look a lot better on its own historically accurate handle. But I know it would feel great on something like this Stumptown handle. I'm not going to use a Stumptown handle for it. I can't wait to try this one though. I think this will be a splitting axe handle because it's around 32 inches. So I'm just looking for the right axe for this. I've had it for way too long. I got to do something with it because it is nice. And it's one of the few laminated swells that I have that I want to use. One thing I have no shortage of is jerseys that I have to work on. This was actually one of the first axes that is from the flea market that I got. My dad actually went to the flea market and he said, hey, there's axes here. You want one? You want two? He got two for me. And you just can't beat the value you can get in a secondhand market. And so it led me to start going there. I met my friend Mike, who has given me an axe I showed in here, that German or Dutch one from Pennsylvania. And I got to do something with this because, as you can see, I didn't know what I was doing when I hung this. That's a shelf. I mean, it would work. You could use this. And the edge is also really stout. I was splitting with this at the time, but this is more of a cutter. Maybe I would use this for hewing though. It's a nice axe. It is a council tool from, does it say the year? Nah, it just says 3.5. It's a nice axe. This is one of my favorite plums. I mean, this is one of the coolest jerseys I own. So it's an old plum. I think they call that the square. I mean, the square pole. I forget what they call this, but when it meets at when it's not a rounded corner and it's small, I think it means it's an older axe. But this is what's really special about this axe, is it has the 3-3 weight stamp. So it's 3 3/4 pounds. It's supposed to weigh 3 pounds 12 ounces. It weighs 3 pounds 12.4 ounces. So it's slightly overweight, but it's stubby. So it's a little better as an all-round axe than, say, this 3-2, which is, it's exciting, but I already have one of these on a handle. I'd say this might even be a paper label. These are kind of common, these 3-2s. It's an older paper label if it is, and it's nice, but it's nothing compared to this. And you can see the little chips missing. This probably is hard steel, pretty hard steel, so it would be good. I mean, I'd imagine this is just damage from abuse and nobody took the time to fix it up. It could be too hard, but I have an inkling that this is going to be very nice as a user. I'm just scared about the weight stamp. It is very light. Always check your pole under and on the pole for a stamp, because that adds value. So if I do use it, it's probably going to rust away, that stamp, unfortunately. So I'm thinking I'm not going to use it, even though I really want to, because it's just about as good as a user gets. 3 3/4. It's stubby. It's just perfect. Here's a really cool one. So this is another axe probably from the 1800s. You can see it's been abused. It's been hit up top. But you can also see there's still a lot of hardened steel left. Let's see if we can see if it's overlaid or inlaid. Can't really tell, but it's probably inlaid, most likely. Look at that cool pitting on there, though. And it has the tapered pole, indicative of an older axe. It's just mushroomed, but you could tell still. This would be a nice little user splitter. It's not very heavy. It's probably a little under 4 pounds. Let's check. Yeah, it's just under 2 ounces, under 4 pounds. So this would be a nice little splitter. That would work. It's not heavy, but it would work for the nice medium splitting needs. So if it was pretty decent timber to split, this would be more than enough. Here's a special axe I got from Axe Yankee in a trade a long time ago. This is the axe that let me know that wedge patterns aren't necessarily thick. In fact, they're not thick. They're felling axes most of the time, I'm guessing. But look how fat that pole gets. So these would be great for wedge banging and felling. It's also a pretty narrow bit. So once again, now I've just heard that about fellers. You know, the Puget Sound has a very narrow bit. You're felling this huge tree and you're just trying to dig in deep and move chips away. So that's why it's narrow. It digs deep. And they're even a little fat, the Puget Sounds, at least the one I have. But look at that. That's quite thin. And this is a 3 3/4. Let me not cut myself. This has a Axe Yankee banana grind on it, so come on. There we go. 3 3/4. Very nice. You can see how he removes mushrooming. He does it so you can't even tell. If this has patina on it, you won't even be able to tell. He does a really good job. And he keeps as much of the stamp as he can. Snow and Neely Co., Bangor, Maine. I think I've shown this one before, but I want to make this maybe a pack axe. Maybe an extremely useful pack axe. It's stubby. It's just under 4 pounds, so it's a little on the lighter side for a splitting axe. And that's why I might want to put a thinner edge on it and use it as an anything axe, because it is just beautiful. It's got a stamp here, and it's got a stamp on the other side up top. It's interesting plum. This is probably my most intricate etch. It's a Kelly Thompson Howe, I think. Hickory. Duluth. And it's a little worn in the toe. And one thing about this video I'm making is my shoulder is burning up the way I'm doing this. We're going to continue destroying my shoulder to show you this overhead profile. This is a pretty long axe. A lot of Michigan patterns are pretty long. So this is a nice feller, but it has a wide bit. That's definitely more than 4.5 inches wide. Give my shoulder a little break. Here's a half hatchet. This is the oldest stamp I have, 1914, handmade 1914. Unless that meant something else, unless that was a company stamp, this is more than 110 years old. How cool is that? I just love things that are, you know, a century old or more. Beautiful. I should maybe hang that one day. Just a really cool one, so I don't even need to. I just like looking at it every now and then. Last one I'm going to show you guys. Here's a Boys Axe National pattern. That's got a nice profile. And really cool, it's a Boy Scouts of America. Be prepared, my friends. Be prepared.